good day. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. By the way, I am Hazel B. Espinosa III, a second-year student of University of Cebu, taking up Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Filipino. For today's video, it is an educational vlog which inline in our subject Socio 101, and I'll be talking about Lesson 6, which is the globalization of religion, in particular with the introduction which talks about the difference of religion and globalism. And now, without further ado, let's get started. Lesson 6, the globalization of religion. Now, before we proceed to the difference of religion and globalism, let's define first religion and globalization. When we say religion, it is the belief in and worship of a superhuman controlling power, especially a personal god or gods. In addition, religion can be defined also as a cultural system based on our behaviors and practices, morals, worldviews, texts, place of worship, prophecies, ethics, or organizations that relates humanity to supernatural, transcendental, or beyond normal or spiritual elements. Next is globalization. When we say globalization, a process refers to a larger phenomenon that cannot simply be reduced to the ways in which global markets have been integrated, which means that the integration of the national market to a wide global market signified by the increased free trade. On the other hand, not only trading and marketing will get involved in globalization, even the religion, simply because there is a possibility when people travel, the cultural exchange will occur, and in this case, the religion will be gradually accepted by other people, and that's the time that some people will be influenced by the cultural system of a person's religion. So there is also a perspective from religious or theological towards globalization. And it says that globalization calls for religious response and interpretation. Meaning to say, globalization encourages religious pluralism, or a response to the diversity of religious beliefs, practices, and traditions that exist in the contemporary world. Now, let's move on to the religion and globalism. Did you know that religion much more than culture, since it has the most difficult relationship with globalism, due to the fact that religion and globalism are entirely contrasting belief systems. Globalism is more on politics and economics, while religion is religious or theological perspective of the culture. So, they both having a differences, and their differences goes like this. First is religion. Religion concerned with the sacred. It means that religion is concerned in things that people can't see, like the life after death. Religion concerned whether people's soul will end up in heaven or hell. In other words, it's how people reach the sacred highness wherein God's place. While globalism places value on material wealth, it is in our world itself wherein the value of material wealth will be measured, maybe in terms of monetary or financial value. Next is religions follow divine commandments. Religions have sacred scriptures that needs to follow. Like in Christianity, a sacred scripture is called the Bible, wherein 10 commandments has written, while globalism abides by human-made laws. It is human-made laws which needs to follow, in contrast with religion, which is God's made law through its prophet. Moving on, religion also assumes that there is the possibility of communication between humans and the transcendent. This link between the human and the divine confers some social power on the latter. So a person will have to communicate with God. In this case, a person might have a feeling of being enlightened with truth. Furthermore, God Allah or Yahweh defines and judges human action in moral terms, good versus bad. While in globalism, yardstick is how much of human actions can lead to the highest material satisfaction. It means that in globalism, a person will attain the satisfaction if he or she will be in the highest part of the society, or he or she has a highest role in the society. Unlike in religion, it doesn't matter with wealth and all that comes along with higher social status. Next is we also have the difference between religious people and globalists. In religious people, they are aspired to become a saint. People will be aspired to become a holy. Their main duty is to live a virtuous and sinless life. Like when he or she dies, he is assured of a place in the other world. Like for example, the life after death is to be in heaven. Unlike those globalists who trains to be a shrewd business person, since they are less worried about whether they will end up in heaven or hell, but rather they are more likely to have a sharp powers of judgment in terms of business. Next is religious people detest politics and the quest for power, since they believe that there are the evidence of humanity's weakness, and they have less concern with economy, power, and politics, but for globalists, values politics and the quest for power, it is considered as both means and ends to open up the further economies of the world. Because when there is no economy, politics, and power, globalism will not take place. Moving on, in religious people, evangelization is in itself a form of globalization. Basically, for religious people, evangelization can be considered as a form of globalization because through evangelization, religion is also disseminating its own belief globally. In this case, religious people are concerned with spreading holy ideas globally. So in what way religious people do this? As example, the missions being sent by the Catholic Church with the goal of sharing the words of God. So this will happen when religious people will take advantage the communication and transportation technology. In this way, globalization for religion will take place. Meanwhile, globalists focused on the realm of market and wishes to spread goods and services since their skills are more pedestrian as they aim to seal trade deals, raise the profit of private enterprises, protect the elites from being excessively taxed by the state, and naturally enrich themselves. And that's the end of my discussion. I hope you learned something from me. Once again, this is EASO's educational vlog. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment.